And we live. Hey. We live. Welcome everyone to Thy Kweendom Come podcast. I'm so excited for tonight.
How y'all doing?
So super duper excited for tonight as I have my first official guest in the throne room. I want you all to grab your Hello Beautiful mugs and your favorite drink of delight, and let's enter the throne room. You can always order your mug and any HB merch at hellobeautiful.info. Let's get this. I think I'm going to kick it off with the countdown. What you think?
Let's do it.
All right. Up. You're about to enter the throne room. Conquering the queendom of daughterhood, womanhood, and motherhood is a quest we can't accomplish on our own. So we invite queens from all over the world to share their struggles, their triumphs, and their quests in conquering their queendom. We pray that God restore, reveal, and revive us into the queens He wants us to become. God's will be done. Thy queendom come. Right. We're sitting here talking about, oh, I just love the intro.
Hello.
Hey there, everybody. Queens, please help me fight the Facebook algorithm. You know that you have to share, like, and share and comment. We always make sure that we go back to the comments. If you're watching this live, please type in live. If you're watching the replay, please type in replay. All right, so let's get down to who my guest is tonight. Tonight's guest is the one and only Patrice Nichols.
Hello.
I was just sitting here, we were chatting, and it was like, oh my God, it's been over 18 years that we've known each other.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. Technically, I've known you for the exact amount of time that I haven't known you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I met you when I was 18. So I kind of want to dig into our topic for tonight and exactly how it came about. But before I do that, I want you to definitely follow Tracy on Instagram. Go ahead, tell them about your Instagram.
It's Tracy's Tidbits LLC. I am a caterer.
Yes, you is.
You know, the food gods have come to these hands and they've been blessed, okay?
Yeah.
I've been blessed by the best.
Mm-hmm.
And
amen.
You will never be disappointed. And if you are, I'll make it up to you.
You really, but you be going over
and
because
beyond.
you hate when people.
Yes, I hate. If it's a bad review, I'll be like, what I do wrong? Let me fix this.
We're gonna do our one-word check-in for the week. I'll start with you first. One word for the week.
Thankful.
Oh.
I am very thankful for the good, the bad, the ugly. Because that's what life brings us, and it molds us to become more than what we could have thought we could be.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful for where I am today, because it's a long way from where I came from.
Yes, ma'am.
So
we're going to get into that.
Very thankful.
I think my one-word check-in for this week is motivated.
Yeah.
I think that by being consistent, as you always preach to me, you ain't got to do the face, though. We on live, though. That you always preach to me. Consistently doing my podcast. And it's funny how what I had in my mind flowed, and I didn't even plan it. So motivated, really stepping into what I'm supposed to do. Plus, I blocked a lot of people this week.
Hey, black.
So, you know, I got tired tired of some of my blessings being blocked, I figured I had to block some people.
So they was blocking
Because they was blocking it. But anyway, that's a podcast for another day. Okay. So I just want to remind everyone about last podcast, what the topic in the series is. Make sure you put in the comments your one-word check-ins. Let's go to the comments. It looks like we may have one. Well, someone is logged in under you.
That's right. It's Trey.
It's your child. We gotta get to that. All right.
Oh
so if you are watching, make sure you put in a one-word check-in for your week and not our kids, because they can't never leave us alone.
He got my iPad.
See?
And
I can't deal. All right. So they work my nerves. All right. So step 1 in our series was to work with Coach K Beautiful to identify toxic cycles. I had my sister Kiona Aviles on as a licensed therapist, and we talked about, yes, identifying, but more about why you need help to do it. So this episode is episode number 7, and it is analyzing the origins of toxic cycles. And we're going to share the story of how Teresa's journey through her queendom started with me. So as I said, we are the bestest of friends. We're sisters. And after I got Rona, I had a holy downpour of an idea. I was up till 5 a.m, making Marco Polos to my tribe, my triangle. And I decided that for National Daughters Day, I was going to interview 25 women and blog about their queendom, what their journey is. I'm not going to say I bullied Treese.
She did.
I did not bully her, brush.
She did.
I did not bully you. What had happened was, being the sister that she is, she says, listen, if you got all your 25 people and if anybody drops out, then I'll do it. Right? That's what happened.
I did say that.
That's the truth.
And so somebody happened to drop out.
Somebody really did, though. I wouldn't lie about that.
And then here I come, saving the day as usual.
As usual. That's what Big Sis is supposed to do. Anyway.
However, I am very thankful for the opportunity to share my story, just because it started my journey and my healing, because I needed it. Mm-hmm. I didn't know I needed it, and God probably made that person drop out to make me face my demons, because there were a lot of them. And, it was something that I needed to really do to finally be happy with myself.
With yourself. That's good. And that's a great segue too, because Hello Beautiful's philosophy is who you are as a daughter influences who you become as a woman and impacts who you are as a mother. So I think it's the perfect opportunity to take a journey through your queendom, which starts in your daughterhood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my phone. It's the perfect. Of course, because we're trying to watch that at the same time. So if you've been following me for a while and know how this started, I started a blog series, and Patrice was September 5th of last year, and her story was entitled Beautiful Love. And it starts out as mothers, it's easy to love our children, but much harder to fully love ourselves. And here's a quote from her blog. I just always wanted someone to accept me, to love me, and that left me really, really vulnerable. It took 37 years, but I finally learned that self-respect and truly knowing your self-worth is the biggest act of love.
Yes.
So why don't we take our guests on a journey through your queendom, and it all starts with your daughterhood.
So as a daughter, in the beginning, it was perfect in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I had the perfect relationship with my mother. My father was in the picture. We were a happy family. And then all hell broke loose. My mother and father had this humongous explosion, to say.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the end of what I knew as perfection when it comes to being a child growing up in the home with the mother and the father.
Mm-hmm.
After that altercation between my mother and my father, my mother decided that we were leaving Philadelphia.
So you got completely uprooted.
I was completely uprooted from everything I knew.
Mm-hmm.
I had a family. My mother's family was very close to my grandmother. I was always at her house. Like, it was just the family gathered at my grandmother's house. And I was always there in the mix, in the middle. Like, hey, I'm here. Let's party.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a party. And I was taken from that party because my mom was like, I can't take this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We left Philadelphia, we moved to Virginia. And in the beginning, it was great. It was still the same dynamic. We read books together. We still did.
You got lost.
We
That's
got,
my favorite
yes.
thing.
So we moved to Virginia, and something that we did as me and her, we would get in the car and we would just drive around Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And get lost. It was our get lost thing to find our way back home.
Mm-hmm.
Just to get to know and be familiar with the area and learn our way around, the area. And we would just get lost. One time we were out and it was these guys in the car and it was like, "Ooh, you sexy." My mom was like, "Ew, they look like a whole bunch of cars full of monkeys."
Bees like that.
And listen, we laughed, we giggled, and we laughed, and we pulled off, and we kept it moving.
So how old were you at this point?
I was 5 when
Okay.
we moved to Virginia. I was 5 years old, and it was like a complete change to me.
So there's a point in your blog where you say you think that her being away from her family allowed her to deal with her demons, basically.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
So it was great in the beginning. And to segue into that, it also allowed her to fall victim to the things that were hurting her and haunting her.
Mm-hmm.
So now, with no eyes looking on her, there's no family to keep her in check. It's like now she has freedom to do what her heart desires or what she thinks her heart desires.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, it turned into a drug addiction. It turned into separation from mother and daughter to self.
Mm-hmm.
And it left me by myself. It left me lonely. It left me distraught. Because I wasn't used to this.
Mm-hmm.
I was used to my mom being in my life and us being together. Like, she used to read all the time. I used to read. Because she read, I read.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had a whole collection of books. She had a whole collection of books. Her books was way different than my books.
Right.
I had the kitty books.
Mm-hmm.
But we would sit and read together. And that was so relevant to me. And now that I think about it and I look a little deeper into it, I hate English now.
Mm-hmm.
I hate reading.
Yeah.
I love math and science, but I hate to read.
Yeah.
But I feel like I would have loved to read if we continue
with your mom.
That peace that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And because she snatched that away from us, feel like my love for that was snatched away.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little touchy for me.
Yes. Part in your blog, you talk about a lot of closed doors.
Yes. So my mom would be in her room doing what she do. We don't have to get into that. But I would be outside her door wanting to get in, crying at her door because I just wanted her. I had nobody else. I had nothing else. She snatched me from my entire family and moved me to Virginia where I had nobody. I had nothing but her. And she snatched her from me. So now I have nothing but a closed door that I wanted to get into because all I wanted was her.
That is so good. Nothing but closed doors.
It
because
was
all I
her.
wanted to get was to her.
All I wanted was her. All I wanted was her space. We didn't have to talk. We didn't have to say anything. If I could just be close to her, I would have been okay. But because she didn't allow me to come close to her anymore, and she allowed all her demons to block me at the door.
And trying to hide her demons by closing the door.
Yes. It was a lot of wrong decision as far as men, wrong decision financially, like just everything just was wrong.
But there was a glimmer of hope when you found out that she was pregnant.
Yes. I was so excited. I was like, yes! I'm about to have me a sibling. I'm about to have somebody I can connect with and we can be brothers. Like we just about to be, it's about to be everything I always wanted. I just needed somebody to fill the void of her. And I thought I was getting it in my brother. I was having a little brother. I was so excited. Like, she went into labor. I ran across the street because our house phone, we didn't have one.
Right. It bees like that.
It was the pay phone across the street.
Yes.
I called a taxi. I knew the number. Listen, I did this a couple times. I called.
You was already parentified.
Yeah, listen. I did what I had to do. I went across the street, called a taxi, like, listen, we need a taxi. My mom pregnant. She about to have this baby. My brother on his way.
And then what happened? The face though. But then what had happened?
What had happened was I asked to learn how to change a diaper. And that was the worst thing I could have did in my life. Why was I so excited? Why did I want to change a diaper? What the fuck was wrong with me?
So what happened?
I learned how to change a diaper.
Yeah. And forever.
It was over from there. What would have been my little brother, who I helped take care of, became my child. It became my responsibility to make sure he was okay. He was fed, he was changed, he was played with, he was loved. It became
the way that you wanted to be loved.
Yes.
So all the proximity, you were always there. But how old are you at this point?
I was 7.
You became a mother at 7.
I was 7 years
I
old.
think it's really, really important to pause here and to just hit some pain points that, one, as women, we tend to want our own space, hide things from our children, and we cause abandonment by closing doors. 2, how many times have we parentified children to take on responsibilities that should be ours? I think that's really big. I don't think you're alone in that. I think that has happened to many people, and I think we can often be guilty of it too.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about this necessity, because what we're doing is we're finding the origin of toxic cycles. So we'll get to that. But let's talk about the necessity, the need to take care of him and what that led to.
Because at the end of the day, it was this newborn baby who had nothing or nobody or didn't know anything, and all he needed was to be taken care of. And for me, it was no question. It was my job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 7 years old. I learned how to change a diaper. I learned how to feed him. And it was off to the races from here. My little brother became my son,
Mm-hmm.
essentially, because I could not go anywhere or do anything without him. I couldn't spend the night out at a friend's house. If I wanted to spend the night out, I had to ask if me and my little brother could come.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just can I come spend the night out? My girlfriend's house and I spend the night.
It's can I come?
But I also need to bring my little brother with me because
you had to.
I got to.
That necessity.
If I don't, then I got to stay home. And my friends' mothers felt sorry for me, essentially, and allowed me to bring my brother because they understood more than I understood
at the time, because they're already adults.
They're adults and they know what's happening, because there's no reason why a 7 or 8 year old has to bring their little brother with them
to a sleepover, unless there's no one there to take care of the little brother. Yeah. So it makes sense.
It makes sense.
So this all turned to this joy, this, oh my God, I'm going to have a sibling. It turned to resentment.
Yeah.
Is what we talked about in the blog piece.
After a while, I couldn't stand them. I hated my little brother.
Mm-hmm. And it takes so much courage to say that. Like at the time, as a 7, 8, 9-year-old,
I absolutely hated him.
And how many people have civil rivalry right now because of things that happened in their childhood that they still haven't healed from, and the resentment that they have toward their sibling?
I hated the fuck out of him. I love him to death,
but
I really, really hated him. And the fact that I had to take care of him. My mom, I used to beat the shit out of him.
Mm. So you used to give the discipline too?
Yeah, I used to be the disciplinarian. And I used to beat him and I used to hit him. My mom was like, don't hit him like that. Well, if you don't want me to hit him like that, then take care of him.
When did it activate? When did I know in the blog piece we talk about this maternal instinct kicked in, like, you know what? Actually, it's me and him against the world.
When I may have been about 8 or 9, and it just was like the crying stopped. Me crying at her door stopped, and it was like, all right, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't just leave my brother. Even though he's getting on my last fucking nerve, mm-hmm. I can't leave him. He has to be a part of whatever I do. I have to make sure he's fed. I have to make sure he's changed. I may have to make sure he's clothed. And it was my responsibility because there was nobody else.
So this is where food came in.
Yes.
So talk to me about survival and cooking for you and your brother, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old.
Listen, I had to figure that shit out. Mm-hmm. We was hungry. Now, she did what she did, but there were things in the house to eat. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't cooked.
Right.
So I had to figure that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
So how are me and my brother going to eat there's food in the house, but it's not cooked. What we gonna do? So I went in the kitchen and I figured that shit out. For me, like, give me a problem, I'm gonna find a solution. And I've been that way my whole life, out of necessity. And it's just been what it was. It is what it is. It you know what I mean? It is. It just is what it is.
How did you discover, oh my God, cooking is really peaceful, and I actually, because in the blog piece you talked about, you used to talk to God a whole lot about cooking.
I did. So I had people in my family who were really into church, and they would bring me into church. So even though my mom took me away from my family, she would send me back up to Philadelphia.
On the Greyhound.
On the Greyhound. By myself on the Greyhound to Philadelphia. And I would stay with my grandmother. My grandmother was not the very religious type. However, she had kids who were. And they would take me to church with them. And we would go to, the Bible study, Sunday school, and every time they would pray and ask if you wanted to give your life to God, I literally did this
every time.
Every time. And I would be bawling, crying, like I just give you my life. Like I don't know what else to do. I would literally give my life to Jesus and to God every time they would pray this prayer. And then one day the teacher would be like, Patrice, you don't gotta come every time, baby. You don't gotta come up here every time. You know that, right? I know, but I just feel like I need to. I got to. But as a little kid, to feel as though you need to give your life over to the Lord in order for you to be okay, speaks volumes. And nobody ever seen the need in me. I felt like I was walking alone in this world. I had aunts and uncles, and I would come up, and just nobody used to see me. And nobody saw me. And the only time I felt like I was being seen was at church at the time when they were praying a prayer.
And the words they would say would like call you?
It would call me. Every time. I would be bawling my eyes out. Every time. I would be literally bawling my eyes out.
And you found God again in the kitchen?
Yes.
Why? How?
Because he would just walk with me. He would guide my hands. He would show me what to do, because nobody showed me what to do. He
showed you how. Yeah, good.
Nobody showed me what to do. He showed me what to do. He taught me. And I had other people along the way to give me guidance, but it really started with him. Because there was nobody to teach me. And when I really started cooking and showing my work, one of my old high school classmates messaged me and was like, I remember we used to skip school, and you would just make breakfast for us, and you would just take care of us. And it's always been in me, and it was the nurturing piece of me. I just wanted to make sure everybody was okay.
You gave the love that you wanted.
I gave the love that I wanted.
Ooh, and that's a good segue.
And people would think that it wasn't genuine or it was just something I was doing to get something back or getting good with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
When they didn't realize, like, no, this is just me being me. I don't know any way else to be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to be anything else. All I know is how to give you what I want in return. And me wanting, not even expecting, just wanting somebody to do the same for me. And I looked for that in so many places and allowed so many people to take advantage of me. I honestly didn't want anything from anybody but love and acceptance because I lost that
from your mom,
from my mother, because she gave it to me and she took it away.
She took it away with closed doors. It's such a mighty metaphor. It's really good. And I think it's a good segue too, because you said you just kept searching for it. Because at the beginning of your blog piece, you're like, it took 37 years. And the question is, what are some of the toxic cycles you found yourself repeating in your womanhood? Because you found the origin. You realized, oh my God, this whole time I've been searching for acceptance and love.
So it was a very daunting experience. I allowed myself to be hurt, mistreated for 37 years. Just because I was looking for what I had at 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Because I lost it at 5, and I was looking for that piece of me that was missing.
That broken piece, honey.
I was broke. I was abused. I was mistreated.
Wait. We really gonna start singing though. Listen.
It was so deep
mm-hmm.
in me that I didn't even know. It wasn't even a conscious thing.
No,
I just was searching for it.
No. We don't repeat the cycles intentionally.
I was just searching, and no matter what anybody else did to me, I accepted it because I thought I was getting what I was needing from them. And I wasn't. I wasn't.
How did going back to your daughterhood help you analyze the origin of these toxic cycles?
Once I realized and accepted the things that my mother did, because she didn't know no better.
Mm-hmm.
Once I realized that it wasn't intentional that she did those things to me, it was like a light bulb.
It was off. Literally her trying to go through her own queendom.
Yes. She didn't know any better. She didn't get the love that she needed. She had hurt and resentment that she was trying to deal with along with being a mother.
Mm-hmm.
And me becoming a mother made me realize, like, this shit hard. This ain't easy.
I think once we step into a certain phase in our queendom, that it's almost like a light bulb go off, but not necessarily for your life, but your mom's life.
Yes.
Like a light gets shine on her, like, oh shoot.
Yeah, like I gave her a really hard time, but she was fucked up. She was going through something.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it took a toll on me, And it hurt me, and it kind of destroyed me. Like, it really destroyed me as a person. But now it's like I understand why. I'm not happy with it, but now I can understand a little bit more. And now that allows me to heal because I didn't have the understanding before.
You didn't have the understanding of her story.
Yes.
So that's the thing, especially when working with my clients, we're focused on you, but it's when the light bulb goes off of, oh my God, this is a cycle from my mother.
Mm-hmm.
This is the light bulb gets shined on her, and we find the origin will always start with her. I always say it's your mama. You're in her womb. You share her blood. You hear her heartbeat. She's your world. And one day, we have her on this pedestal, and she comes crashing down.
And then we find our queendom.
And then you find your queendom when you finally come to a place of understanding her. So then, this is a hard question. So we can always discover the origin, but we won't always discover the reason why. So how did you heal from learning the origin starts with like this toxic relationship with you and your mom?
For me, once I accepted
Ding, 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 ding.
that she's not perfect, I'm not perfect, there's nothing perfect in the world. And because of this imperfection, we can't hold people accountable for their actions.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, we don't fully understand their hurt. We don't fully understand why they do the things they do.
You never will know.
And you can't know.
You can ask. You may never get a straight answer.
No,
you may never,
absolutely
you will
not.
never know the why. So it is literally the acceptance of, yo, I'm never gonna know the why. So what am I gonna do? What you gonna do?
I can't continue to live in this place of why didn't she do this? Why didn't she do that? Why didn't she love me?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't she care for me? Why didn't she open the fucking door?
Mm-hmm.
At this point, it's like she couldn't. She couldn't open the door. She couldn't love me. She couldn't do the things that I needed her to do for me because she was going through her own.
Yeah.
It was something that she was going through that I could never understand. Mm-hmm. And because of that, now it's time for me to say, look, either I am or I ain't. Either I am going to move on or I'm going to continue. I ain't going to move on. I'm continue to dwell in this space.
Mm-hmm.
I can't continue to dwell in this space because I can't love my kids the way that they need to be loved. I can't love my husband the way that he needs to be loved. I can't love my friends or my family the way that they need to be loved because I can't love myself the way that I need to be loved. Mm-hmm. And me looking for that love in all of these people, it's never going to be equivalent to what I actually need.
Yeah.
Because I'm the only person that knows what I need and can love me the way that I need to be loved. Like, it took 37 years. I'm 38 now. I had another birthday. But at 37, it took me to a place where it's like, I can't depend on anyone else to give me what I need if I don't give it to myself. Mm-hmm. If I don't love me the way I need to be loved, how can anyone else love me the way that I need to be loved?
That's good, girl. So how did working through your queendom this year journey impact your motherhood?
I'm definitely more open to who they are individually. I may not like some of the things that they do or some of the ways that they act. However, I'm more acceptant of it and just want them to be acceptant of who they are.
It's a big word, acceptance.
Because at the end of the day, if they don't accept themselves, how can anyone else accept them?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's my biggest journey right now, is for my kids to accept themselves as who they are. Whether people like it or not, it's okay. Like, I'm hard.
Sorry. I'm gonna take a step.
Take a fucking step, okay? I am very hard on my children.
Mm-hmm.
Because I expect so much out of them, because I expect so much out of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, they don't sometimes open up as much as I would want them to. Mm-hmm. And I get that and I understand it. And I try to kind of step myself back a little bit to get them to open up. But at the end of the day, I just need them to know, like, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Whether you this way, whether you that way, it doesn't matter. Just be that way.
And they're still trying to figure it out.
And they're still trying to figure it out. But fuck everybody else. Mm-hmm. Fuck trying to impress everybody else, because I tried that shit for 37 years and that shit didn't work. It did not work. Mm-hmm. So be okay with who you are.
And know how you need to be loved. And demand to get
yes, better. Absolutely.
So how did working through your queendom impact your relationships and friendships?
It like turned them
upside down.
Inside out.
Oh, it's been a year, child.
Backwards, forwards. Listen. And what I want to say is, I love my family. I love my friends. But I've loved you guys more than I've loved myself.
For a long time.
For a very, very long time. So don't take my absence or my distance
or my boundaries
as a form of disdain, mm-hmm. or a form of hate, or a form of me just it's not that.
It's self-love.
I had to begin to love myself more than I loved everyone else, because I gave everybody else more love than I gave myself. Mm-hmm. So now it's a time for me in my healing that I love myself a little bit more than I love everybody else. Mm-hmm. Whether it's my friends, my family, my husband, even my children. Mm-hmm. Because I can't give anyone else the love that y'all need genuinely if I don't love myself genuinely. Mm-hmm. So whoever can accept it or can't handle it.
What I word again, acceptance.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but I can't do it, because right now it's about me and nobody else. Mm-hmm. And nothing else. Like, I still have abandonment issues when it comes to my father. Like, I have abandonment issues still from family. Mm-hmm. Like, even still with my mother, even with me accepting her flaws and all.
It doesn't mean you healed all the way.
I'm not healed.
It's a lifelong journey.
I'm working through all of those feelings and emotions. Mm-hmm. And right now, I just have to put that peace, P-E-A-C-E, mm-hmm. not P-I-E-C-E, mm-hmm. that peace into me. Mm-hmm. Because I just need to be at peace with myself so that I can accept myself and so I can love myself.
And so you can flourish. Because the next question is, how did working through your queendom impact your God-given purpose?
Baby.
Baby.
And these hands are blessed by the best. Listen. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Some people may think that I had influences, and I have.
Yeah.
However,
it's them origins that's there.
People don't understand where I came from and where I started. Like, I went to a high school that had a banging culinary arts department. I was in the South.
They got money in these schools, child.
I had a banging culinary arts system, and my teacher used to be like, "Are you sure you don't want to be a chef?" Mm-hmm. She used to ask me all the time. Like, I would pick the hardest recipes. Like, we would have assignments, and I would pick who fucking makes fucking Perios in high school. Like, these cookies that you have to make thin and then roll. Like, I did those things because it just was a peace of mind for me. And she was like, "You sure you don't want to be a chef? Because I think you should be in my program." And I was like, "No, I'm gonna be a computer scientist." Hey, I had a scholarship and everything. I ain't go to school. I went and sold some shit in retail. I went to Strawbridge.
You went straight to work.
I went straight to work. I didn't go to school. I had scholarships. I had all this stuff. I was lost. I just wanted my family. I just wanted what I knew. And what I knew was family. However, what I thought was family was not family.
Yeah. It was just accepting whatever type of love people gave you.
Yes. Because the family that I thought I knew turned their backs on me too. It was
you found peace, this peace, in
Jesus peace.
The Jesus peace in cooking.
Yes.
And by going back through your queendom and everything, it was like, oh my God, I've been cooking since this age. Like that, this passion is there. So tell me about Tracy Tidbit.
So it was. They be like, "Why you want to be Tracy Tidbit? Why you want to be Miss Tidbit?" Because I literally love to do everything.
A tidbit of everything.
I cook, I bake, I prep. Every aspect of cooking brings me joy. Every aspect of cooking brings me joy. Whether it's the preparation part, chopping the shit up. Like, I'm not too good to be the sous chef or be the prep cook, or I love every
You just
aspect.
Want that peaceful time.
It's just quiet. And then I just be in there chopping it, bam, chopping that shit up, bam, chop, 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 chop. All of that shit, it just makes me feel good because I look at the finished product and was like, I did that shit. I made that shit happen. They happy because I did that.
It goes back to you taking care of people.
Yes.
It goes all the way back.
I am a caretaker. I'm a nurturer. I just want to love on people. And I love on people through my food. Hey, who ain't happy when they eat something good, baby?
In a year, you have literally, even during a pandemic, catered for Jasmine Sullivan.
Listen, okay. First of all,
weddings.
They was licking the spoon.
They were licking the spoon.
Listen, no mashed potatoes. Let me tell you, the mashed potatoes, they was licking the spoon. People be like, I don't eat grits. I don't eat shrimp and grits. I don't like that.
No, you never had the tidbit.
You ain't never had. Let me put a little bit on your. Let me put a little tidbit on your plate. They was back like, you still got some more of them grits. You still got more of them grits. Yes, I have some more of them grits. You want some? Absolutely.
I mean, weddings, funerals,
It's
vow renewals. Within a year, you have really.
I've done it all, and what puts me above the rest is the love that I put in my food.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up at the ass crack of dawn.
It's too early.
Don't nobody. They be like, you right. I went to sleep
at like 1.
I went to sleep at 1 o'clock in the morning,
but I woke up,
and I woke back up at 2:30. I just needed a little nap, a little rejuvenation, and I'm back at it. Why? Because I love what I do and I care about what I do. And I care about the people I'm doing it for. At the end of the day, like, no matter what, if I know you, if I don't know you, I love what I'm doing. People be like, oh, your prices, blah, 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 blah.
No, you paying for.
You're paying for
all this love I'm putting in.
All this love I'm putting in.
But that's just another mindset of entrepreneurs where we all struggle with, oh my God, what's the cost gonna be? But people literally pay for value. What is the value that they're putting?
I'm putting hours into this. Because I'm not your average African American / Black business where we don't give a darn about time tables. Mm-hmm. I want to get your product to you ahead of when you need it.
Mm-hmm. It's quality.
It's not just it's the quality, it's the time, it's the effort, like
the taste.
Baby, you better ask. Listen, you have to understand that I put everything into what I do. Mm-hmm. Whether people appreciate it or not, I don't care. Mm-hmm. Just know that you tasting love, baby. Mm-hmm. It's love.
I be tasting the love.
You better taste the love.
We definitely want you to follow TracyTidbits.com. That's her website. And TracyTidbits _LLC on Instagram. She definitely delivers, and she get flued out. Aren't you getting flued out?
I'm going to Texas in July. I have another gig in the morning in Atlantic City. Mm-hmm. I deliver. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I will be there first thing in the morning.
Yes, you will.
Bright-eyed and bushy tail, baby. You better ask somebody. And they loving me already.
It's the truth, though. Where's the lie?
It's no lie, and none of this. It's no lie.
So what advice would you give someone contemplating working with me?
Definitely a good place to start your journey, because there's no judgment. It's open forum. I silenced my phone, not my watch. I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't do that either.
No. So it is an open space where it allows you to explore things you haven't explored yet in your life. And it's open, honest, and it's not judgmental, which I love, because there's so many places in your life where people are judging you and placing obligations or expectations on you that you shouldn't have. Mm-hmm. And that's not the space that you create.
Yeah. Thank you.
You create a space where it's all about you. When honestly, it hasn't always been about you. You know what I mean? Like, you want it to be about you. You want it to be centered on your healing. And it is. Where you look to some of your girlfriends and they still so centered and they be like, they give you the side eye, but like, ooh, why you do that, girl? This is not the space that is. You give them a space where they can be open and honest, and you're acceptant of who they are, and lead them into a place where it's okay to be who they are. Now let's figure out where who you are needs to go to be what you are.
To be who and what God has called you.
Yes. Because right now, who you are is not what you are.
That's good.
Your what could be so much more if you were allowed to be the person that you need to be.
For you, for your family, for your children.
Absolutely.
For your whole Kweendom.
Absolutely.
Yay. So you know what you gotta do, right? Because you already put it on because you all hype. But you gotta put your crown on. You gotta show them.
Yeah. Hold on, let me fix my crown.
A little tilt there. Because you're definitely well on your journey. It's been a year.
It's definitely been a hell of a year.
It's been a hell of a year. Yeah.
Personally, emotionally, like marriage, kids, all of these things, family, the business, like it's been a year of hurt, disappointment, sadness, like
that's the realest thing, because healing is not pretty.
It's just been a lot. And it's still a lot. And I've gotten to a better place, but I ain't done.
Healing takes a...
I am not done.
Yeah.
And all like what I would love to end this with is to all my friends and family, loved ones. All I want is the best for all of you. No matter what you think or how you feel about me, I still want the best for you. In my healing process, yes, I may not be there the same way that I used to be, but that doesn't waver the fact that I love you guys. I want the best for you. And I just want to see you prosper.
Yeah.
It hasn't wavered. What's changed is the fact that I love me more now. That's it. That's all. I love me more now. And so because of that, I can't give you as much attention as I gave you before. But that doesn't mean that I don't want the same things for you. So that's all. That if we can end this with anything, that's what I want to end it with. I love you guys the same, but I love me more now. So I have to give me more attention.
I love it.
That's it.
It's so good.
That's
so good. I feel like I don't want to go away without checking the comments. Y'all are some strong, beautiful, but I don't even want to.
Can you get Trey off my phone?
Yes, Queen. So glad you are learning to really love yourself and set boundaries. Yes, chasing the why is just a way to continue the pain and the harm. That's real. That is so real. I want to thank everyone for joining us and staying on with us tonight. Of course, if you want to work with me,
and you should work with my sister.
I want you to visit Hello Beautiful.
It's very beneficial.
Oh, yeah.
And even if you feel like financially it's unattainable, she will work with you.
I will work with you.
Figure the shit out.
We will figure it
But
out.
the biggest goal is to make sure that you are whole as a woman.
Ooh.
And as a queen.
Ooh. Tell me. Ooh.
Put that shit on, bitch. What? I'm sorry. That's my word. I love the word.
You're
bitch.
the only person.
I'm the only one that can call her that. Okay, let's be clear.
I love you, smoochies. Ooh,
That's
wonderful.
my bitch.
You can follow me on Instagram and Clubhouse at Coach K Beautiful. Bye.